Hey, happy Friday to you. Today is April 19th, and these are the Friday Funnies. Well, let me ask you this. Are you a little bit taxed out this week? Did you get your taxes done in time? Are you currently on your way to a foreign country because you forgot to pay your taxes? Well, if any of those are true, you may need a little laugh at the taxes, and I suggest you read my Tax Day blog at daleirvin.com/blog. Sadly, however, Tax Day was not the worst thing to happen this week. Once again, we were attacked by someone whose sole goal was to cause destruction to innocent civilians. It's the heinous act of a coward, and I am sure that the authorities will find those responsible. In the meantime, our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Boston and the entire United States. That said, I think we would all appreciate a good laugh at the end of this week, so I gleaned the oddest stories from around the globe for your amusement. Well, Florida dominates the news in this week's Funnies once again with news that it's being invaded by giant snails. The giant African land snail grows as big as a rat and feeds on anything, especially stucco. The snails need calcium for their giant shells, and they find it in the stucco on houses in South Florida. More than 1,000 of these pests were caught last week alone in the Miami-Dade area, probably because they're fairly easy to run down. The problem is there's so many of these slugs doing nothing and eating Floridians out of house and home that it's like being invaded by a joint session of Congress. To fight the giant snails, the government is giving out giant salt shakers. Watch for snail slicks on the highway. Handsome men must be a rare commodity in the Middle East, so much so that Saudi Arabia recently deported 2 men for being, and I quote, too handsome. The men are from the United Arab Emirates. They were visiting Saudi Arabia for a festival in Riyadh. And when a festival official saw them, he kicked them out of the festival for being too good looking. Then the government said they were too pretty for the whole country, because apparently the folks in Saudi Arabia do not want their women tempted by hunks from the UAE, so they escorted them to Abu Dhabi. Well, that's it for me. Effective immediately, I will no longer visit Saudi Arabia, because with my dashing good looks, I won't even be allowed out of the airport. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Phil is a pheasant who lives near the home of Sally Ann Hudson in Shropshire, England. Sally lives with her elderly parents, and the 3 of them have been under siege from Phil. The 2-foot-long pheasant has been headbutting and attacking and pecking at the Hudsons whenever they leave their house. When Sally Ann leaves for work, she arms herself with a tennis racket just in case Phil attacks. Then Phil pecks on the windows and tries to get into the house at night, and when he fails, he just looks at the people inside and flips them the bird. Now, I don't know how much longer they plan to put up with Phil's antics, but I gotta tell you that a quick flick from a cricket bat would convert him to Sunday dinner just like that. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. Please pass these funnies along to your friends, and I will see you next week.